Hello everyone. So in today's class we are going to discuss about public relations. So under public relations we are going to discuss about the introduction about public relation and the various concepts under this public relation and what are the natures of public relation, and also we are going to discuss about the importance and limitations of public relation. So first of all we'll just learn what is the meaning of or the introduction about public relation. Public relation is the way how an organization or the companies or individual which who are going to communicate with the public and the media. So a public relation, it consists of a specialist who communicates with the target audience directly or indirectly through media. So the main intention of this or the main aim of this public relation is to create and maintain a positive image and to create a strong relationship with the audience. Okay, so here this public relation is a practice of managing the flow of information between an organization and its public. So here it provides an organization or individual the exposure to their audience, and the main aim of this public relation is to attract the public or the investor or to the partner or any employees and other stakeholders in order to maintain a good relationship with the company, and they also should have the strong relationship with the company or its product or its service or various activities related to a company. So now let us know the meaning of public relation. So what do you mean by this public relation? So we can say that public relation is a kind of shape and maintain a image of a company or the organization or individual in the eyes of client. So how you are going to build the image of your company to the public? Either this public may include your clients, or it may include the voters, or it may include the member of local community or member of media, or it may include students or the parents, online fan groups, or the foreign citizen, etc. So this public relation, it is a management function which helps in establishing and maintaining a mutual communication, understanding, acceptance, and cooperation between an organization and its public. So here it helps the management in keeping the information and responsive to the public opinion, and also it helps in forming the responsibilities of the management to serve the public interest, and also it helps the management to utilize the various information from the public. Okay, so when it comes to the various concepts of public relation is a management function, so that mainly helps in creating, developing, and carry out the various policies and programs to influence public opinion or the public relation. So it may be about various ideas, or it may be about introducing a product, or it may be in creating a good image of the organization. It may be anything, and it may consist of any field, like it may be of the economic, or it may be social, political, it may be any factor. So the main intention of this is to create a or build a prestige, or to promote your product, or to promote your services, whatever it is. So the main concept of this is to create a awareness about this company. Okay, this public relation is mainly it can be stated like it is the art and science of building a relationship between the organization and its public or with its audience. The concept of this public relation is an emerging notion where uh, with the help of this management function, they are trying to build an image of an organization, and they are trying to build a good relationship between the organization and in the public. Okay, so now let us know what are the nature of public relation. So the nature of public relation can be summarized as follows. Number one, we have extent of public relation function. So it is like to what extent the organization uses public relation. The public relation function should be recognized as a a good management. Okay, take for example, to what extent? So take for example, you're going to schedule an activity. That activity can become a campaign, then that campaign can become a program. So like this, how you are going to what extent you are using this public relation. Then the second one, we have level of public relation function. So till what level you are going to use this public relation. Okay, this depends on the nature of the business or services which is being provided by the organization to the audience or to the public. So it may be social, cultural, economical, political, it may be any factor, okay, that left to the organization. The next one, they have to look into the target public. So the main work of the public relation person is to act as a link between the management and the various public or and the various audience. So here he has to act as a link or the mediator between the company or the organization and the public. So with the help of public relation, he can build a trust between the company and the target audience. The next one, so after attracting the public, now your work is to maintain the goodwill. What do you mean by goodwill? So it may be the reputation or the name, fame. It may be whatever which gives, which pays you in the long run. Correct. So here, once you are attracting, you're done with the attracting of public. Now you have to safeguard those reputation which you have earned. So the next one, evaluation of work. So here, the public relation person, so he always has to evaluate himself in his work environment, so that he can improve his professional capability to become a public relation person. Okay, the next one is general area of objective. So here, the main the first thing, he should be knowing what is the main object behind this public relation. Whether you're going to improve the market standing, or you're going to innovate something, or it may be towards the work performance, or it may be towards the attitude and public responsibilities, etc. So first you should be clear about what is the object of this public relation. The next one, communication skill. So here, once you're done with the attracting of the public or the audience, now you should think about this various skills or the managing strategies and the skills in because these are the very important integral part of your business policies and the decision making. So ultimately you have to decide through what way of communication or which method or media of communication, and you should be knowing how and what, when to use the public target public. The next one, we'll be discussing about the need of public relation. Why do we need this public relation? So first one, we can say that investing on public relation will help the organization in achieving its object. So it also make sure that the organization is running effectively and smoothly with the help of this public relation. So this public relation will help the organization in creating a good image about the company, and also it helps in motivating the public, and also it helps in avoiding the misunderstanding and avoiding mutual it creates the mutual understanding between the organization and the public. So the next one is objectives of public relation. So first one, so what are the objectives of this public relation? First one, to build the awareness about product. So when you're introducing, so why do you need public relation? So when you're introducing a product, you need customers. Take for example, when you're relaunching an existing product, you need customers. Take for example, you're going to introduce a new product line to the market, so you need a customer. For all these purpose, you need public relation. You have to maintain a good relationship with the public. Okay, then creating interest. So the next one, take for example, you are done with introducing of new product, to whom will you sell? So for that, you have to create interest among your target audience. Okay, first you should be knowing, with the help of public relation, you have to communicate with the public, and you should be knowing how to create interest among the target audience. You should be knowing what are their interest, whether it is short article, whether it is a huge article, whatever it is. So based on your production, you're going to create the interest to the public. Then providing information. So once it is done, now it is your work. With the help of public relation, you are going to provide information to the customers. Okay, I mean, you have to give in-depth information or knowledge about the product or services offering by the company. Either you can make utilization of materials, or I mean various materials, or you can make utilization of newsletters and the website, or it may be anything which gives complete information about the product to the public. And also, this public relation will help the company or the audience in stimulating demand. So how it happens, take for example, you're maintaining a public relation. I mean, a positive article has been published in a newspaper, or a good news which is coming on the TV show, or it may be anything like in the which is mentioned in the internet. With all these things, even the public will get motivated. Even you're going to increase your sales. Okay, then reinforcing the brand. So here, this public relation is also involved with the brand reinforcement. Okay, by maintaining a positive relationship with the audience and building a strong image with the company. So these are the various objectives of the public relation. And the next one is potential organizational and potential behavioral problem. What are the problems may arise at the time of maintaining a public relation? So, number one, resistant to change. So, take for example, if we are going to organize an event, that event call for the various diversity and as well as uniqueness. So, okay, so if there is a requirement of sudden change or unexpected or unplanned performance happened, at that time there will be a lack of adaptability. Okay, so there may be various hiccups which may happen, which may disrupt the smooth functioning of the event. So resistance to change. The next one, multiple leadership. So in an event, since in an event involves various independent functional units, for each in functional units will be having a separate leaders like caterers, decors, logistics, etc. So multiple leadership, multiple groups or multiple roles will create a disturbance in the event again. Okay, then lack of cooperation and coordination, as we already mentioned. So there will be an event and there will be more number of groups, more number of leaderships, more roles will be played. So at that time there will be, if there is no proper cooperation or if there is no proper coordination, again it affects the organize okay organizers. Then lack of engagement. So, take for example, there are so many suppliers, there are so many vendors. So, at the time of shifting their work, again, if there is a disengagement attitude, again, it affects your work. So, these are the various problems which may arises in the events. So, the next one, it is importance of public relation. So, the main important of public relation is to communicate the policies, practices, or the problem performance to the public. So finally, you have to take feedback with the public opinion, and you have to give suggestion, and even the top level management has to have a mutual understanding between the various organization and its public. So it may include stakeholders, it may include dealers or the customers, general public, government, etc. Okay, so in order to communicate with the various people who are involved in your organization, you need public relation. Okay, so the very first one is communicating to the stakeholder. So we know that stakeholder or the shareholders are the very important part of the business. Okay, where without their support we cannot start our business, correct? So here we can say that they will play a vital role in the existence and the success of the business. So it is very important. And important to communicate well with the shareholders or the investor. So that can happen only with the good public relation. The next one, communicating with the dealers. So as a customers, we cannot as customers we cannot contract every now and then. So we will go with the persons called as, I mean, we will have a mediators like dealers. Okay, so either to advertise campaign or for the effective way of dealing with them. So finally we should deal properly with the dealer, I mean we have to properly communicate with the dealer. Hence, so it is necessary to communicate well with the customers also. So it is very important to communicate well with the dealers, which can happens with the good public relation. Then the communicating with the customers. So we know that customers are very important in our, I mean the entire society. So apart from the quality and the price, the customer relation is very important. Okay, you have to influence the customer behavior. You should be knowing what is the attitude of the customers, and you have to develop a better image of the product in their minds. So if in order to maintain the good relationship between the customers and the organization, it is very important to have a public relation. Okay, so if you maintain a good public relation, so it may give a knowledge about your product and services to the customers. And you can it can help in the way of research, surveys, props, and giving informations to the public and attracting them and knowing their attention, interest, so that you can concentrate on your further production. Okay, so all these things can happen only with the public relation. So after that, communicating with the general public. So communication with the public, it is essential in developing a corporate image. So in the minds of public, general public, so I mean the general public should know everything about your company. Okay, I mean about your organization. It is your responsibility to convey all your messages and information to the public in large. So take for example a manufacturer. So manufacturer must be popularized for the fair trade practices. Then a retailer or the trader. So everyone should be have a good relationship with the public, I mean general public, so that they can purchase your products or services. Okay, even they should get the information, proper information of the substitute, or it may be about the employer's remuneration or about the facilities offered, or what are the perquisites you are giving, and what are the various welfare activities you are conducting in your organization. Everything should be properly communicated, then only you will get the workforce. So for everything, either to improve your sales or to create the demand or to get the workforce, or to build a good image, for everything you have to communicate well with the general public, which can be happen only with the public relation. The next one, communicating with the government. So in the present Indian concept, so we cannot do anything apart from by leaving the government. Okay, it is very important. We like we have to take permission with the government, and we have to act according to the government, because government plays a prime role in all the economic activity, whether it is business or it may be anything. So for the smooth functioning or for the effective communication, for the effective functioning, we need government policies. So according to that we have to act. So for that you have to communicate well with the government. So we have various levels of ministries and in all the department which influence the decision making of the organization as well. So it can happen only with the good public relation. So the next one, it is communicating with the employees. So here, industrial relation, we know that you have studied about industrial relations. So you have to maintain a good relationship with the employees as well. Then only they can work according to that. You have to concentrate on the employees, and you can get the better ideas, and you have to communicate with the employees, and you have to give the various I mean, good working conditions for them, and you have to give the promotional policies, and you should have a employee training and development programs, and you have to recognize their performance, and for the you have to give various facilities for the education, health, and other amenities. So all these things can happen within the organization only with the help of proper communication. Okay, so that can be done only with the public relation. The very next one, the communicating with the press. So the we know that either it is government or it is employee or it is stakeholders, they are directly connected with the press. So the main thing, we have to have a good opinion with the press, so that whether it is private sector or the public sector, everyone will be affected by the press. Okay, so for that you should have a proper image or the corporate image towards the press. And that for that you have to effectively communicate all your value added activities of the business, and what are the benefits you're going to give it to the public. Everything you have to give properly communicate with the press, so that it will be published in their newspaper or whatever the other media, so that the other people or the general public will come to know about it. So these are the various importance of public relation.